Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be back with some last minute Easter DIYs from the Dollar Tree. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video and there's a lot of reasons for that, but I might film a vlog type of video to talk about the life changes that are going on right now. I will let you guys know that I'm pregnant. I'm so excited. That's part of the reason why I haven't felt up to making any videos, and other reasons are because I've just been really busy with work and stuff. But yeah, I might do a pregnancy vlog. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, not to delay or take away from this video, I'm really excited to be back into crafting and home decorating. As much as this is last minute, I went to the Dollar Tree and picked up a few things to try to make some DIYs, and I made 3 DIYs and I'm really excited for how they turned out, and I have like a billion more ideas, so I'm super excited to be back. And let's go ahead and get started and take a look at these projects I made. So this is everything I've picked up from Dollar Tree, and I will be using most of those items for my DIYs, but I'll be starting with those eggs that you get for filling up with candy and such for Easter egg hunts. I'm just going to turn these into decorations, and I'm going to make them really rustic using this rope and some glue. And all I'm doing is just wrapping the rope around the egg and just adding a little bit of glue as I go along. It's really easy to do. It does require some patience, especially if you do, several eggs. I did about 6 or 7 eggs, I think, and that's, I got tired of it after that. I didn't want to do any more, but it was plenty to fill my little basket. It does get a little more difficult as you go to the end of the egg, but it's not too bad. Just you have to be careful not to burn your fingers. And I just kind of use the rope as a guard for my fingers, just try to touch the rope and not the glue, and it worked out pretty well. And yes, it does get messy and you do get the glue everywhere. You can always use a hairdryer to get some of that glue off if you get too much of it around the ribbon. One other thing I want to mention is some people use a lighter to burn off all of the fuzzies around the rope. I personally am too afraid to do that. I don't want to start a fire, but if you're interested in doing that, definitely watch a video and see and try it if you're brave enough, and see if that will work for you. I just left my eggs as they are and decided to just embrace the fuzzies and try to love them as they are. Now, after my egg was all done, I decided to use a little bit of ribbon, and of course I chose a natural color ribbon because I wanted this to be rustic, and I just glued that in the middle of the egg just to give it a little bit of decoration, and I thought that looked really pretty. And that's pretty much it for the eggs. You just repeat the process as many times as you want to get as many eggs as you want. And here are my eggs all finished, and now I'm going to work on this basket. I'm spray painting the inside with white just to save some time. I didn't want to use a brush on the inside. Next, I'm going to paint the outside white using a brush, and my whole goal with this step is just to cover up any of that purple. And even the purple is a really cute color, but it's more for, I think, carrying around while egg hunting for like a kid. It's very functional, very Easter spring color, but for something that's a decoration in my house, I wanted to be more neutral, so that's kind of why I decided to paint it and turn it into decor. And I am just I'm going to be doing a lot to this basket. So first I'm giving it 2 coats of white paint and trying to cover any trace of that purple. And next, I'm going to be using some of that Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm using a sponge. This is just one of the Dollar Tree kitchen sponges, and I cut maybe 1/3 of it just to make it a little bit easier to use. And I'm just applying it just everywhere on the basket without any special method or anything. I just dip it in the paint and apply it onto the basket. And next, I'm taking some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is the black color, and I'm taking another sponge. This time it's a cosmetic wedge sponge that they have at the Dollar Tree. And I'm taking a little bit of paint, not too much, and I'm kind of trying to focus it in on the seams of the basket And sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard. I also like blend it out after I'm done, but pretty much just add the black in and blend it all in. My idea here is to try to apply the black in the areas where there's like a seam in the basket, or the areas where it actually goes in, or there's like an indentation, as opposed to the areas that actually stand out. I wanted to leave those more in the brown and like even leave some of that white there. It's not going to be perfect because that white is going to show through sometimes, but I really just needed like a white surface to start with. It would not have worked with it just being purple, so it is what it is. I think it still looked really, really good in the end. So I'll leave some of that painting process in case you guys are interested, and maybe add a timestamp for when that's done if you don't want to watch all of that.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away, standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Dreaming of you.
And all that's left is just filling it up with some kind of filler and then putting the eggs on top. I used like a foam pumpkin that I had, or you can use a piece of foam from the Dollar Tree. They have those, and then some moss, and then I just put my eggs on top, and that's pretty much it for the basket with the eggs. The next thing I'm going to work on is this truck. And it's a really cute sign, but I kind of just didn't know what to do with it on its own. So I decided to give it a little back and kind of like put it on its own easel so it can stand up, and it just looks so much better. Just revamp it a little bit. So all I'm going to do is use these paint sticks. I'm just arranging them in this kind of even way, and then I'm gluing 2 more paint sticks just to keep everything together, and I'm using wood glue for this because it is much stronger. And then I'll leave it for a few hours and put something heavy with a lot of weight to it to keep it all in place, and then we'll come back and paint it. To paint this, all I'm using is the Waverly Antique Wax and a brush, and I'm just giving it an even layer of the wax, and it kind of makes it look a little bit rustic, a little bit stained. I like the look of it, so I left it just like that. And then I'm just gonna glue my sign onto it with the hot glue gun. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of an easel so I can actually stand it up on a counter. And I'm going to use a popsicle stick, one of those jumbo popsicle sticks, to do that. And I'm just making this really, really easy. All I'm doing is laying down the glue, and then I put some underneath and on top. And then I'm going to use that little tiny paint container to hold it up. So I'm just going to let it sit there until the glue is dry, and just like that, we have a stand. Next, for the wreath, all I'm using is this wreath form that I got at Dollar Tree, and then some of these roses. I have the blush pink and the white, and I'm just going to cut them and stick them in the wreath form. So I want half of my wreath to have the flowers and then half of it to just be plain, and I'm alternating the color flowers with the blush and the white, and I want some space in the middle for a bow. So that is going to be the pattern in which I'll be placing down my flowers. Next, I'm going to choose my ribbon, and I will be making a bow out of these 2 ribbons, and I used just like 2 strands of a third one. And the way I'm making my bow this time is a little different than what I normally do, but I was kind of Googling different ways to make bows, and this method worked so much better when I tried it over Christmas time, when I wasn't filming, of course, but it works really, really well. So all you do is you just cut a whole bunch of strips of ribbon that are the same size. Like here, I'm choosing the size that I want, and once I get that size, I'm just gonna cut all the ribbon into pieces that exact same size. So I skipped a whole bunch of cutting, but basically I just have all my ribbon cut. So next I'm just going to cut all the tails, and I do this by just gathering up all of the same type of ribbon and cutting it all together to save time. And then finally, I'm ready to start making my bow loops, and I'm just gathering the ribbon and making a loop and then pinching and doing that, alternating the different kinds of ribbon and holding it in place while I do that. So I will just speed this up because it is a pretty long process, but it's pretty easy, as you can see.
World had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
And then when I have all of my loops gathered together, I'm just using a zip tie, and then I'm taking a pipe cleaner and looping it through the zip tie. And this lets me use the pipe cleaner as a way to hang it to or attach it to whatever I want. and in this case it will be my wreath. I love making bows this way because they're super sturdy. The zip tie makes it impossible to ever come apart, so I love that.
Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word.
And that's pretty much it for this wreath, and that's also it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up. I will be back with a lot more videos shortly.
Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.